Hey everybody, it's Carl with We Are the Retro Gamers. I've got my cat Grace here. She's just trying to bite me. Be good. This week, been up to a little bit. Tuesday we went out to 8-Bit Hall of Fame in Bonita Springs, and we recorded an episode out there. We interviewed the owner and operator, Jason. Our interview has been posted on our Facebook page. It is also on our YouTube channel. And be sure to check out 8-Bit Hall of Fame on Facebook. He went ahead and posted our video too. Some great, publicity for us. And our video also highlights his store, so it gets some information about his store out there to you all to see a little bit of the inventory he has, and it's a lot. Another thing that I did this week was I actually bought an arcade machine. Last night, I had my wife drive down to 8-Bit because I was at work. But I ended up getting a Nintendo Super System arcade. I did a little bit of research, found out they were kind of rare. According to Jason, there's about 800 of them that was only made. But I've been on this page. I've been talking to members, wondering about what the value of the arcade machine, what the value of the Nintendo Super System is, and I had a lot of quick responses. People started saying, this is a good price that you're able to pick this up for. It's got good games on it. I'd go ahead and jump on it. So I did a little bit more research, and I ended up getting the gaming system. I paid for it. I'm just waiting to go pick it up. I need to go pick it up, get some people to help me move it over here because arcade machines are heavy. It's got 3 games on it right now. It's got Super Mario World, ActRaiser, and F-Zero. I never really played ActRaiser as a kid, but I enjoy Super Mario World. It's a classic. F-Zero, a lot of fun. Good little racing, futuristic game. But ActRaiser, I'm told that game is not on too many of the Nintendo Super Systems, and I've heard people say that game alone is worth $400 or more. I also got 2 other games with it just for purchasing it. I got NCAA basketball and I got Super Tennis. And then I've been reaching out to some other members in the Nintendo Arcade Collectors Group. That is the name of it. And there's a gentleman in there who he's been developing some cartridges for the NSS. One thing that I've been talking to him about is the Super Mario Kart that he's developed. I plan on purchasing one of these cartridges from him a little bit later in October, and I'm going to give it a try. So we're going to have an episode about the NSS soon. We're going to talk about it. We're going to show some gameplay from it. We are going to look at the PCB, the printed circuit board, and some of the components on it, and just learn a little bit more about it. It's very interesting. They were made back in 1990, 1991, and I'm just grateful that I was able to pick one up. They're not easy to get to. I posted a picture in the arcade collector group, the Nintendo Arcade Collector Group, and just me taking a picture of the NSS at 8-Bit, there were like 3 people that recognized it just from the picture. So, they're pretty rare. And I was really surprised that people were able to figure out just from a general picture where this machine was located at. And people were like, yep, you need to go ahead and get it. It's worth what he's selling it for. So, got it. Gonna get it installed soon. I would like to see it picked up today, but may not be able to. It's been raining outside. I don't want to move it in the rain. It seems like anything it ever does here in Florida is rain, especially during the summer months and now into the fall. And there's a hurricane down in the islands right now. Don't think we're going to get it, but, never know. But I get tired of the rain that comes along with it. So we'll be having a video on that soon. I didn't really have a whole lot to talk about except for kind of what we've been doing, what I've been working on. So I wanted to kind of finish this video up by just talking a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. I grew up on the east side of town, far east side. If anybody's familiar with Indianapolis, 25th and Post is my neighborhood. I caused a lot of problems with my friends, but I also played a lot of retro video games over in that area when I was a kid. When I wasn't out getting in trouble, I was inside playing Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So that's a very big memory of mine as a kid. One of the things that I really remember when I lived in Indianapolis was one of my friends had the Sega Channel. I think it was Time Warner Cable that he had, and what it was it was a cartridge that plugged in to where the cartridges plug in at on the Genesis, and there was a coax cable that went from the wall into the Sega Genesis cartridge, the Genesis channel, and it would give you a list of games, and what it would do is it would basically download the game to the cartridge, and you could play it live on the Sega Genesis. Like, I was amazed by this as a kid, because there was just a list of games, and each month the games would change, and I remember waiting for the school bus. We'd be inside my buddy Sean's house. He lives down here in Florida, too. And we'd play the Sega Channel before school, and most of the time we were running out to the bus at the last minute because we were busy playing games. Then another one of my buddies, Dustin, he lives up in Indianapolis still. We did a lot of gaming at his house, too. He had a room in the back of his house where the Genesis was hooked up at, where the Nintendo 64 was hooked up at, where the SNES was hooked up at, and we gamed. I'm really surprised that his parents put up with us. We were over at the house all the time. If we weren't playing video games, we were causing problems inside of the house, doing some fake wrestling, and just all sorts of crazy stuff. So that was my earlier memories as a gamer when I was living out in Indianapolis. When I was 15, I moved out to Missouri in a small town of 2,000 called Shelbina, Missouri. This was around the time of PlayStation 2, and I think some of the later days of PlayStation. I started meeting friends at high school, which was pretty hard. I was a city boy. I was going to where a lot of country boys were at the school. But I met somebody at the school that I hung out with a lot. They were from Ohio. His name's Matt, and we played a lot of PlayStation 2 when we were over at his house, hanging out, playing PlayStation 2. We also did some skateboarding in our off time. And that was my early, gaming experiences from when I lived in Missouri as a high schooler, sophomore, and past. And then my earlier years in Indianapolis when I was a freshman and younger. And here I am in Florida now. I just moved to Florida from Missouri last year. It's been a good change. I didn't like the snow in Missouri. My wife didn't like the snow. We were tired of getting snowed in all the time, messing with it, driving through it. It was just a hassle. So we moved down here, and I started working at a local cable company. It's actually a nationwide cable company where I do tech support, billing, I do retention, I do sales. I pretty much do everything. And I've met a lot of cool people at work. A lot of people that share the same interests that I do in technology and video games. And that's how I met Mac. That's how I met Michael. And we started talking during training. Then we realized, hey, both of us like retro gaming. He wanted to start making a show because he is getting into film production and some photography. And he wanted to see about starting a YouTube channel, see where we could go with it. And here we are today. It took a little bit of a hiatus for a little while, but we kind of regrouped, thought about things, what we should do. And here we are now, starting new episodes, such as the interview that we did at 8-Bit. We've been talking about the magazines with PlayStation 1. And there's just many more episodes to come. And there are our new Thursday videos where we're doing the vlogs. We really want to try to kind of make a variation of different videos that we give to you all. So you all will keep watching. tell other people about us, and stay entertained. But, this is it for the weekly vlog. We want to try to keep them short. We want to keep you entertained, but we don't want to bore you. So here it is. I'll be keeping you all updated on my NSS pickup, my Nintendo Super System. And once we have it in the house, Mike Mack will be shooting an episode and going through it. It's been a pleasure speaking with you all today, and have a good week. Get some retro gaming in. Check out that website that Mac talked about in one of our videos. Check out our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find that website. It's a retro game hunter website, and that's how we found out about 8-Bit. So look on there, find stores in your area, go get some retro games. If you don't have any consoles, go pick them up. They're pretty cheap. Pawn stores are a good place to go too. I was able to get Mega Man X for $10 at a pawn shop. I've been seeing Mega Man X for $55 and up. So pawn shops are a great deal. I've also been told that yard sales are good, so check out some yard sales. I plan on checking some out soon. So this is it. You all have a good week. Bye.